Alright guys, here we have a 2002 Ford Explorer. Had a blown head gasket and a bad radiator from the head gasket. It was missing a corner light on the driver's side along with a piece in the bumper, which I later replaced as you'll see in the pictures. Pretty clean truck for the most part. Booked around 3,000 or so. Here is where I pulled the radiator out. There it is. I hate putting parts in the back of the 300, but it is what it is. There is the BlueDevil Head Gasket Sealer. That's the big bottle, not the Pour and Go. That's the bottle that requires you to actually do some real work to use that product and have it work the way it's supposed to and for an extended period of time. This is what the truck looked like when I put the radiator in it and I got it fired up. Water mixed with oil, blowing smoke out of the exhaust. It was missing on cylinder 2 because it was flooding it with water. BlueDevil will not work all the time, but for the majority of the time that I've used it, it has repaired successfully most of the cars that I've put it in. And when people ask, well, how long does it last? Guys, I drove my Mercedes E320 with BlueDevil in it, and I bought it with a blown head gasket for over a year and a half with no issue after that at all. So the stuff is good, it works, but you have to follow the directions. I mean, they're not just there for looks. It's not for aesthetic purposes. The directions are unbelievably important that you follow them to the letter, or this product is not going to work. As you can see, the Grand Am there is blowing smoke. There, I put them both together just for, you know, dramatic effect. They're both smoking like crazy. There's the water mixed with oil coming out of the breather. This is where I got frostbite. I spent many hours outside in the cold working on these cars, and I had no idea that this had happened until later on. It burned. It was just an unbelievable pain. My skin later on dried and cracked open. It was very painful. Here is the Grand Am having to jumpstart the Explorer. Here's the Explorer when I put it back together and cleaned it up. As you can see, the corner light piece in the bumper is back on there. It cleaned up really, really nicely. I sold it the very first day I posted it for sale. It didn't take long to get rid of that one. And here we go with some more pictures. Third row, 7-passenger, 4-wheel drive, 4.0 liter single over cam V6, front and rear air conditioning and heat. That thing was loaded. A really nice truck. It drove really well. I drove it quite a bit. Here's the Grand Am as I'm running BlueDevil through it. In this car, I went with the Pour and Go. The Pour and Go is better for smaller vehicles, smaller engines. Anything V6 and under should be fine with the Pour and Go. The big bottle is for more severe head gaskets, and it also requires you to do a lot more work to make it work properly. This is the Grand Am when I picked it up the day that I purchased it. I should probably mention I picked up the Grand Am for $300. It ran, but it was overheating, and it was blowing smoke out of the exhaust. It had a blown head gasket, no doubt. The truck, the Explorer, I picked up for $350, and I had it delivered to my door. As you can see here, the Grand Am's not smoking so much anymore. This is in the middle of the BlueDevil doing its work. Eventually, it'll stop smoking altogether. I actually had both vehicles running at this time. The Explorer was running, BlueDevil through it still, and the Grand Am was as well. Here's the Grand Am cleaned up. I put a wax on it, and quite honestly, the paint came out way better than I ever anticipated. The interior cleaned up nice. Other than running BlueDevil through it, the only thing it needed was a transducer for the air conditioning. I diagnose and repair AC as well, and I do have the proper tools for AC work. I have a vacuum pump. I have a manifold gauge set. These things are really important when you're working on air conditioning. So this car is pretty much ready to go. I tagged it and titled it. Both cars had messed up titles. The Grand Am's tags were out by 2 years. So, you know, I had to bring all that up to date. But I do titles as well. So title issues really aren't that big of a deal for me. But this Grand Am runs and drives great. I mean, no joke. That thing runs great. The truck ran great. I'm very pleased with both of these purchases that I had very little invested in. So there you go, guys. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and be safe out there.